Hello everyone and welcome to Financial Freeway. I am your host, David J. Atwood, the man rocking the Ray-Bans. Today we are out. I'm just going to head off over to my daughter's house for a quick little visit. But I wanted to talk about side hustles and how important they are when you're starting out. When you're starting out in life, in finances, you're probably not going to be handed a $100,000 a year job. You're probably going to have to figure out how to get some extra money. And the thing is that when it comes to saving, living beneath your means, if you're doing it with one job, it's gonna be tough. You can do it with one job, but someone has to support you for a couple of years until you get enough of a financial head start. And if you don't have that someone to support you for the first couple of years, what you can do is you can get a side gig. And I strongly recommend that. I strongly recommend that, excuse me, everyone gets a side gig. Get something going on for yourself that's going to make you a little bit of extra money on the side. And the funny thing about side gigs is people will get a job, and most people get a side gig where they actually have more control. This is a side gig where they're all kind of, the idea is, well, I don't have to worry about my paycheck, I don't have to worry about rent, so I can take a few more risks, and you can do things like resin art or skip the dishes or something like that, where you're not constrained by how much money you make by the hours you put in. So you have a chance to make a little bit, but sometimes a lot of money when you're doing side gigs. And those side gigs, come on people, there you go, sillies. So a side gig has a chance to get you some really good extra money coming in. And right now, in this time, there are so many ways to make extra cash on the side. I think one of the better ways to do it is to start your own business. And really quick little story here. It's really kind of funny, and it's about my daughter, so it's kind of apropos. But she, when she was going to school, I told her that I would pay for her books and her tuition, and she could live at home for free while she was going to university. But I wasn't going to pay her any extra cash, so she had to get her own cash, do her own thing. So she went out and got a job cleaning houses, being a house cleaner, and she was working for another woman, and she was making pretty good money. And then during school, while she was going through school, that's how she got her extra cash. When she was done school, she went out and was going to become a community health nurse. So she went and got a job with the medical community here on the Vancouver Island, and she was telling me about some of the things she had to do, some of the places she had to go, and the people she had to meet. And I was kind of like, oh, those aren't the best neighborhoods. I'm a little bit concerned about you going out there. Is there is there another avenue we can go down with all this training you did? And the funny thing is that she was actually getting less money doing that than she was when she was cleaning other people's homes. So after she got her associate's degree, she ended up going back into cleaning homes for people. And then after a couple of months of doing that for somebody else, she realized there's no reason that she couldn't do it herself. And now she has a very successful business with employees and everything else. So she has her own cleaning business, and she's doing very well. In fact, when she was telling me how much she was making, I was surprised to hear that she was actually bringing more money in at her business at her age than people that I work with do. And I was a little taken aback. It's awesome. But it goes to show you the power of actually going out there and searching for that side gig. It's the side gig thing. yes, it's great. Excuse me. Yes, it's great to have some extra money, but it also starts to rewire your brain as to think differently, as to, you know, looking for opportunities and looking at things in a different way. Like what type of, not just like what you want to do or what you're trained to do, but a lot of times it's what are you, what's going to be best for you financially. And I hear this all the time about people, well, you got to be happy. You got to be happy with what you're doing. You're young. You should live your life. No, I don't disagree with that. Happiness is not worrying about where your next meal is coming from. And happiness is not worrying about rent. That's what happiness is. So when people start saying things like, oh, no, money's not everything. It's like, no, you know what? It's not. But I'll tell you, when you're hungry or you're homeless or you're stressed out about finances, trust me, those problems become very big. So having that financial, you know, what is the financial benefit to my next step is always a good way to be thinking. And this is what having a side gig or looking forward to having a side gig does. It flexes that entrepreneurial mindset, that part of the brain that starts to think more like a business person. So strongly recommend, if you can't afford to be saving money right now for whatever reason, you gotta find a way to get a side gig, get something else. Your boss is only gonna be paying you so much an hour. We understand that. That is the reality of life. He's got to make his money and he's budgeting. He can only pay you so much. Got it. However, the reality is that you have to take control of your finances. And one of the best ways to do that is to get that side gig. And let me flip back to what I just said a few minutes ago. Never before in the history of mankind has making money been so easy. Getting a side gig is so easy these days. There is so little excuses left to anyone who says they can't financially make it. Got some construction here. It looks like a big crane. Watching out, little, oh, that's a little tight here. So when you are, when you're sitting at home and you're whining about your financial situation, you are in control of that. You have some talent that you can figure out how to make some extra cash with. That's it. And the fact that we're all connected now, with YouTube, Google, Twitter, we're all there, we're available, Facebook. There are so many opportunities for you to take your talent and turn that into actual currency, into actual money that you can start putting into your investment account. These are, and look, if you want to buy a house, you want to get into the real estate game, the reality is, guess what? You're doing a side gig. You can't do it, even if you're making 40 bucks an hour, you cannot put the money aside quick enough to get that down payment for a house. You're gonna have to get a side gig. You're gonna have to work a little bit harder than your grandparents did. And if I hear one more person complain about it, you know what? Wham! Times have changed. Things are different now. They suck. They're harder. But it's not impossible. You can do it. Side gig's the way to go. Uber, DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, just 3 off the top of my head that you can do right now with no training. All you need, clean criminal record and a car, and boom, you're making money. In fact, you're making like 300 bucks a night. You start doing the math on that, and you can see some real financial benefits over the long haul. Side gig, people, that's where it is. Get off work at 5 o'clock, start doing your second gig, whatever it is. Hey, throw a YouTube channel up. Get some content out there that can really help people. That's a really great thing to do. Anyways, folks, thanks so much. That's my time. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notification button. Like the video. That's always good for me. And if you wouldn't mind, this is kind of the real important part of this, is I would like you to share the video, because I really want to get this word out to people. I want people to understand that I'm here to help. I want everyone to understand that abundance is theirs for the taking if they want it. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. God bless.